Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here. Back at you again with another video. I just heard recently that Celtic won the league in Scotland. So, as I mentioned before on this channel, I'm a big Celtic fan. So I'm really happy, obviously, that Celtic won the league. It's sort of bittersweet in a way because I'm using the saying correctly, because I'm a bit gutted that we didn't manage to finish the season off fully because of coronavirus. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have seen it out properly, but we've been officially handed the title. So I say we as a fan, and so I thought this is a good time to make a video about it because obviously it's the day that Celtic got handed the ninth title, and I've talked before about my dreams. I'm sure probably quite a few times on this channel about for Celtic, like to win the most amount of trophies in Scotland. So I hope we win many more. Hope we win 10 in a row, which many people talk about, but even more than that, as many trophies as possible, and become the most successful team in Scotland. And I support Celtic as an anti-imperialist because, like, the opposite, the rivals Rangers are kind of like the imperialist side, or they sort of pro-union, and they talk about Britannia ruling the waves and things like that. They're more pro-military and things like that. So as someone who's not into those sorts of things and not very patriotic, or who's an anti-imperialist, I kind of want to see Celtic do well. So that's the reason why. I know it's not perfect, but I know the club's not perfect, but I think they do a lot for charity as well. So I think that's great. And anyway, so happy for Celtic to have won. They're one of my favourite clubs, mostly the Italian ones and Celtic. There, and I'd love to have, like I've talked before about, like, having a network between Celtic and Italian football, to network together, and especially at youth level, to train together, like people from Ireland, Celtic, and Italy, and maybe even countries like France as well, like tricolor countries and republics and things like that. So, and I think that every country that's been colonised by the UK should be Celtic fans. Sorry. So I think that people from India, China, and all over Asia and Africa should be Celtic fans, in my opinion, and possibly people of colour, because I think there's a lot of racism from Rangers fans. Although I'm sure not. I'm sure they've got many decent fans too. And I've talked about a lot of these things before. But anyway, so I thought, obviously, because we, as I say, as a fan, have just been given this awarded the league officially, as far as I'm aware. I thought I'd make the video, obviously, as I say, today, because I thought it'd be apt. And I haven't really thought of many things to say, except for, obviously, congratulations. It's really cool, and I hope that Celtic win many more trophies and become the most successful team in Scotland, and do as well as possible and get as much sponsorship and general support as possible as well, and generally do as well as possible. I know they probably can't compete with the big boys in other leagues which have more money and all that sort of stuff. And I know I'm an Italian fan as well, but as I say, I'd love to have a connection between all possible Italian clubs and Italian football and Celtic. So yeah, I'm happy for Celtic to have won. It's really good news, I think. And I think sometimes we just got to celebrate those small victories. I know there's a lot of bad things going on with COVID and all that, so I don't want to say it's all good or all positive, but obviously I think football's really, in my opinion, it's kind of important to enjoy life, and I think football's part of that. So I think we got to enjoy any victories we get and anything we can enjoy in life. So I'd love to know what you think about this video, and I still hope that one day I'll do videos in the future which will convert people who are not football fans into football fans. And, like, to me, people, as I said, across Asia and Africa, people of POC, people of colour, and what I call the four indigenous people from Australasia, Africa, the Americas, and Asia, I think should support Celtic, as I've talked quite a few times about. Due to the fact that like Celtic are like Irish immigrants, especially people from Ireland, I think should support Celtic, or people with Irish blood. But because Celtic are based on Irish immigrants, and as far as I'm aware, most of the fans are like anti-racist, anti-prejudice, and all that sort of thing. Some people might dispute that, and I'm sure there are many Celtic fans who are not that way inclined. But I think, generally speaking, there are many decent, decent Celtic fans, and I'd love to know what other teams, other fans of other clubs, especially in Scotland, but also around the world, think. Like people who have played against Celtic or Rangers, or have dealt with Celtic or Rangers fans, which one they think is most ethical. But I'd love to see Celtic get as many fans as possible in, like say, China and India and other countries that are colonised by the UK, Argentina, and all over Asia and Africa, countries like Kenya, and places like that. And I know that historically Celtic have done a lot of charity work in Kenya, like with Kibera Celtic, which is a club that helped set up from like the slums to give them opportunities. So I hope the Celtic will start doing that charity work again in the future, overseas in places like Kenya and, as I say, all over Asia and Africa, and even in places like India and China to set up football pitches and training academies and things like that. I also hope Serie A clubs will do the same, and again at youth level help each other practice. So as ever, I'd love to know what you think about this video. I can't imagine many people who don't like football, and I'd certainly be surprised if any. Obviously, Rangers fans are not going to like it, but so apologies to any decent Rangers fans. I'm sure they're out there as well, but obviously, each person's got their own opinion. So, anywho, I drink to Celtic being 9 in a row champions, and hopefully we'll become 10 in a row, and even 11 and 12, or as many as possible. Obviously, to win the most possible trophies and become the most successful club in Scotland. So I'll drink to that. Peace and love.